Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap of Tyler Perry Sistas, Season 6, Episode 2, Full Circle Moment. So, Andy takes Danny home, and they're driving, and they're talking about how Danny was acting and stuff like that. Basically, Danny is just in this funk, like she really don't care what Andy got to say, but Andy just keeps making it about her. And so at one point, she decided to turn on this music because actually this is her favorite song. And Danny was like, so you don't want to talk about, you've been talking about me this whole night, but now you want to talk about this little funky song. And then Andy was like, you know what, we'll just turn it off and we're just talking silent. So they did that. Eventually, Danny gets home. She gets into her apartment rather, and she puts the keys down. She goes to the refrigerator to get something to drink. She pull out a beer because she realized she ain't got enough food in there. Next you know, when she closes it and turn around, guess who appears? Jonah. He was like, you thought this was over? And she was like, you don't get the F out of my house. And next you know, he was coming up close to her. She cracked him in the head with that bottle. They started tussling. She ended up knock him over, throwing the table over him on the floor, and then they somehow or another she was trying to reach for the knives that she had on the counter, and he ended up grabbing her from behind, and they started going at it. He ended up on top of her, just fighting. Mind you, before this happens, backtrack a little bit, Preston shows up. And all he heard when they was talking about the refrigerator, but he assumed that she's in there with another guy. So he was like, man, F this. And he goes back downstairs to his car. Now he's in his car, and now they're fighting. So he was like, listen, F this girl. Like, F her, forget it. And he was like, I was just like screaming like, Preston, go back. Preston, go back. Preston, go back. So with his intuition or whatever, I guess he just had a sense like, okay, let me go back and try to rectify the situation, see what's really going on. Whew, right when he got there, let's just say he heard what was going on and he bust through that door. He got Jonah off of Danny, and gave Danny the biggest hug from behind. And like, you could tell that she needed that, but at the same time, she's still going crazy because, mind you, them two was fighting Jonah. And yeah. I don't know what was going through Jonah's head, thinking that he could like be invincible to this, but obviously not. So that happened. Preston, I guess, eventually called the police, and they came and took him out. And now Danny and Preston was just sitting there talking and whatnot, but she's still fuming over the whole Mindy situation. Like, she's not really letting him in like she wants to. Like, I know deep down in her mind and her body, her spirit and soul is jumping up for joy that he was there to rescue her and just be the knight in shining armor that she really wants. But at the same time, in reality, she's just over the whole situation between him really trying to choose Mindy. But, her pride is not getting the best of her, that she cannot just like let it go and, be thankful and grateful. But she do tell him thank you, that, he was there to help her. She said she just want to go to bed. He was like, all right, fine. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to go stay here. He went to go get on the couch while she got in her bed. And she was like, what are you doing? I'm going to stay here. And then here she goes, bringing it up again. What about Mindy? She be all right. She already knows. And he basically told her, like, listen, Mindy knows that I love you and stuff like that. But Danny, she's got to be strong and don't let no man try to take her out of her comfort zone and be vulnerable. That's what she does. Eventually, they went to sleep. It's now the next day. Preston ended up making her breakfast. He was like, I tried to be quiet about it, and he was like, I know, I could smell it, and I heard it. And they had a little laugh at one moment. Then he was like, listen, I know you got to get ready for work. in 2 hours. She was like, dang, you know my schedule better than me. I mean, he should. He stayed with you for a long period of time and paid your rent up, so he should know. Like, come on now. Whatever. So she's still fuming over the Mindy situation. Like, girl, let it go. He's there right there. That should have been a sign like, oh, this man really was care about me because he's still here after what I just went through. And mind you, she never told him about what happened with her and Jonah. So yeah. Let this man come into your life and love you like you need to be loved. Like, girl, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah. So Andy, she finally arrives home, and then she goes to her bedroom and she sees Gary, butt naked, covered in flowers, and he's just trying to get it on with her, and she's like, "Listen, I've had a long day, and all this other stuff," and he basically trying to tell her trying to tell her something, and she was like, "Listen, there you go again, trying to control me. I think it's best you leave." He was like, okay, I guess. I mean, I'll just stay here and spend the night. I'm like, ugh, just get up and go. But anyways, and she was like, no, not here. Go to the guest room. And he was like, oh, okay. He eventually gets up and goes to the guest room. And I guess she go to sleep and whatnot. But yeah, he literally trying to get this girl. And she don't want him like that. It's like she slowly letting it play out because he found out that she helped Robin get the loan money and stuff like that. So now it's just like, you wouldn't think that. You wouldn't think he be trying to underestimate Andy, and Andy be knowing more than what she be putting out there. Like, she gonna play dumb till she get what she want, and after that, deuces. And I think that's right where she's at right now with Gary. Gary is about to kick rocks. Just kick rocks. She's stringing him along to get what she want. And then, sayonara, buddy. Yeah, she passed down that salon. Like, you ain't getting none tonight. So, yeah. So now it's the next morning. Gary's, he calls Hayden. And Hayden's with Tamara, being all lovey-dovey and stuff like that. And Gary was telling him, like, you should get her vetted. Like, he was like, nah, I know, I got, Hayden was like, nah, I got this, she's good people, whatever. But, Gary, some things Gary is right on. He's right with other people, but when it comes to him, nah, he ain't on it. But anyways, so they got off the phone. Next, Andy comes out. She's like, listen, I'm getting ready for work. She looking bad in that black outfit, though, too. Like, whoever's hooking her wardrobe up this time, I'm not sure if Crystal's still doing the wardrobe or whatever, but sis is looking nice. So she was getting ready for work, and Gary was like, he's getting ready to go, too. And they was trying to talk. He wanted to talk to her about last night, and I guess she listened, but at the same time, she was just ready to go to work. So, yeah. Now, Sabrina, she's at her house or whatever, and she hears a knock on the door. Next thing you know, it's Calvin. So Calvin comes in, and he was trying to tell her about the Maurice situation and Q. And next thing you know, Maurice comes in, and him and his smart mouth, whatever, but he comes in and she throws him to the couch and was like, listen, get in here. And she basically said what's happened, and it's not Maurice if he don't put a little sass to it. So basically he broke it down to what happened and how things transpired and whatnot. And Sabrina was like, listen, you can get into a lot of trouble and stuff like that. He's basically on the fence, like, I don't care what's going on. Like, he took all this from me, and now I'm about to take what he got. And basically, Q ain't got nothing, so it's like, you doing all this for what? I understand he stole and did all that stuff for you, but still, you about to be a bad guy. You really about to be in prison for real. Like, So both Calvin and Sabrina tried to make sense of the whole situation and basically let Maurice know that what you did was wrong, and Maurice is still like, I don't care, whatever. So he gets up and goes to the fridge and was like, you ain't got no food in here. I'm hungry. So eventually, after Calvin and Sabrina talk again, she ended up whipping up some food. And here he go, his smart mouth. He decided to eat some of it. And at the same time, Calvin was like, he got to get ready for work. Because now, Sabrina and Maurice, they're on leave. We don't know if that's indefinitely or whatever, but supposedly Sabrina talked to corporate and whatever, and Miss Mims, and nobody's not saying that the two of them, so now they're doing a full investigation. So they basically out of work until this whole situation dies down, or if it even does die down. So Maurice, here he goes with his smart mouth, keeps saying all the slick comments and stuff like that. And Sabrina's had enough of it. She was like, oh, just whatever. And then eventually, after Maurice ate some of his breakfast, he started clowning the breakfast, like, make it make sense, but whatever. He basically is going to go see Q at the hospital, and try to like get him for what he did to him. So he says his little smart remarks as always, and then he basically was calling her a trick and all the other names, and he left. Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully Maurice will get it together, but if not, it is what it is, though, because that's just Maurice. Maurice gonna do what he want, and that's just how it is. So now we got Zach and Fatima. Zach made breakfast. Fatima's coming down in this beautiful, like, how would I say, like passion fruit colors, like blue with a hint of green and yellow. It looks so nice to her. She's doing a thing. He made them some breakfast and whatnot, and I guess they wanted to talk about the whole Heather situation and stuff like that. And, basically, I guess Fatima didn't have time to talk, whatever, and eat breakfast. So he was like, I made you breakfast. And she was like, yeah, I got to go to get ready for work. Like, well, at least you're going to drink the coffee. She took a sip of that. They said I love yous and stuff like that. And she was out the door. So after she left, he goes to the table, picks up the phone. He ends up calling Heather and talk about, wanting to go see his son. And she was like, he wanted to come earlier, but she was like, nah, can you come around 3 because I'm about to go to sleep. And he started putting two and two together, like, so if you're going to sleep, who watches the son? She was like, my sister watches him in the daytime. But he was like, you're about to go to sleep. And then she was like, well, he has his iPad, his phone, and the TV. He'll be all right. So basically, you're going to go to sleep and let this boy wander around the house by himself. And then she was like, well, the door's going to be locked. He don't know how to open it. Yeah, that right there was a red flag. But anyways, so he decides he's going to eat breakfast on his own. And that's what he does. Sit down and eat. Okay, so after Hayden gets off the phone with Gary, Tamara basically thanking him for, like, putting it on her and stuff like that. And she tells him to go upstairs and get ready for work. So as he goes upstairs and leaves, she ends up calling Fatima as she's driving to go to work. And she's basically telling her the play-by-play of what's going on. And Tamara's thinking about making money off the whole situation. And Fatima was like, isn't that what my cousin paid you for? Like, this is not what we planned to do. And Tamara tried to say her input. And Fatima was like, I did not pay you to think. And I can't talk to you right now. I got to get ready for work. So, yeah, Tamara was like, okay, I'll just talk to you later. So Fatima was like, bye, and hung up. So after that, Tamara threw her phone down on the couch. And she was like, listen, I'm about to take all his money. Like, I don't care what you say. I'm about to do what I got to do. So she ended up going upstairs, followed behind Hayden, and we're going to see what happens. Yeah, so now we got Pam driving on her way to work, and she listens to her music, and she gets interrupted. The phone call ends up happening to be Aaron, and she was like, how do you get my number? You already know how Aaron gets down. He ain't gonna tell you how he got something. He probably just stole it looking through Karen's stuff. That's probably why he got it. Yeah. Makes sense. Remember when he called about the doctor's appointment when she found out she was pregnant? This man is sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. But anyways, so Aaron wanted to find out where Karen was, and he was hoping that Pam would know where she was at. And she was like, listen, call her. And he was like, I did. And she said, well, text her. And he was like, well, I did. Well, then obviously she don't want to talk to you or stuff like that. Like, she probably saw her and just like, give her some space or whatever. And then Aaron was like, this is not none of your business. Pam was like, yes, it is, because you brought that stuff here to the salon. Like, if you wouldn't have brought that, it wouldn't have been no confrontation or whatever stuff like that. So basically, Aaron's trying to find out where Karen is, and basically, Pam is not giving the time of the day. Like, listen, it is what it is. She was like, listen, you find it cute and all, but I'm about to get you off my line. He was like, I'm not her secretary. And he was like, yes, you is. Yeah. She was like, yeah, but not on this phone. I ain't. So basically, boy, but I just get on out here, leave me alone, and lose my number, please. Like, come on now. Yeah, that right there. So as she's about to hang up the phone with him, all you hear her say is, oh my God. And then you hear Aaron say, Pam, what's up? What's that? Next thing you know, that's it. Next week's episode, it shows Pam pulling up to the, well, she's already at the salon, greeted by one of the firefighters, and he was talking about how they found a body, and she broke down, started crying. Then you got Zach and Fatima. They end up finding the baby outside with a big wheel by himself. Like, it's a lot going on, and I'm here for it all. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. I honestly didn't like this week's episode. It was more commercials than it was a daggone show. Next week, y'all better get it together, okay? Okay. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap of Tyler Perry Sistas, Season 6, Episode 2, Full Circle Moments. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.